Happy Only F Unit Friday. The EMD AF7 was one of the most successful diesel locomotives ever built. And when the Penn Central Transportation Company was formed in 1968 through the merger of the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York Central, it inherited a sizable fleet of these dependable first-generation diesels. Most of the locomotives had been delivered between 1949 and 1953, when they were at the forefront of replacing steam power across the Northeast. Producing 1,500 horsepower, the F7 quickly earned a reputation for reliability, smooth operation, and versatility. By the late 1960s, however, the F7 was no longer considered modern. Newer road switcher locomotives, such as GP and SD series engines, offered crews better visibility and were easier to maintain. Even so, Penn Central continued to use its F7s because the railroad constantly struggled with locomotive shortages and financial problems. Rather than retire them immediately, the railroad assigned many F7s to local freight service, transfer runs, yard duties, and branch line operations where their dependable performance was still appreciated. Some former Pennsylvania Railroad and New York Central F7s continued working alongside newer locomotives well into the Penn Central era. Penn Central even supplemented its fleet by acquiring a small number of second-hand F7s from the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad in the early 1970s. These locomotives were quickly repainted into Penn Central's black scheme and placed into service, demonstrating just how badly the railroad needed additional motive power during its difficult final years. When Conrail took over Penn Central and several other bankrupt Northeastern railroads on April 1, 1976, a handful of F7s were included in the inherited roster. Most saw only limited service before being retired or traded in, although a few continued working briefly in Conrail colors. Today, no Penn Central F7s remain in active service, but they are remembered as rugged workhorses that helped keep trains moving during one of the most challenging periods in American railroad history. Though overshadowed by newer locomotives, the Penn Central F7s proved that even aging first-generation diesels could still perform when they were needed most. Thanks for watching, and have a great effing weekend.